Hello everyone, welcome to Crypto Basics Coach podcast. I'm Marco. I'm here to help people navigate this topic so as to benefit from the opportunity this new technology provides and not get distracted or put off from the nonsense there is out there about crypto. Anything and everything presented and discussed, whether here or in our sessions, is of an educational nature and should never be taken as financial advice. Always do your due diligence and consult professionals before making any final decisions. Episode 1. Demystifying Crypto. What's the obvious question that I get the most? What is crypto exactly? Well, crypto is nothing more than new technology. That's all it is. It happens to run on the internet. It's a technology, for most parts, that is built on something called blockchain. If you want to understand a little bit better about blockchain technology, there are plenty of YouTube channels that you can go and watch, and it'll give you a good explanation of what blockchain is, and you'll get an understanding of where some of these cryptos come from. Essentially, what cryptos are doing, though, is that they're evolving the internet as we know it. If I take you back to when the internet first started, some of you may remember that you had to type in www. You were then able to go precisely to where you wanted to go to have a look at the data that you're interested in. Web 2 made that far more interactive, started to introduce databases, started to introduce merchant facilities. Companies like Google and Facebook started to create social media and so forth. And that's pretty much what the internet has been for all of us for the last 25 years. But if you think about it, it's been predominantly data-based. People are now talking about Web 3. What's Web 3? Web 3 is pretty much where the internet is now going to start being used for the transfer of value, the actual transfer of money, not just data. And these crypto technologies are essentially the technology that allows you to do that. There are more than 10,000 types of cryptos, many of them focusing on different things, but essentially they have certain things in common. Each of them have a coin, each of them have a token which has value, which is where the term cryptocurrencies come from. Some of these technologies are focusing on security. Some of the technologies are focusing on gaming. Some of them data storage. Some financial products. And some the movement of money. Actual movement of monies that normally would be done by the banks. The capability for the everyday person to be able to do their own transfers is evolving as these technologies are adopted on the internet. Now, the one thing that we learned after the dot-com bubble 20-odd years ago, 25-odd years ago, is that although there may be thousands of these technologies, just like there were in the dot-com, a lot of people lost a lot of money because they picked technologies or companies back then that really didn't have any use case or a business case. Same goes with cryptos. You need to be very careful about which crypto you invest in because most of them probably won't have a future, and you need to understand what the use case is, and then they're the ones that you might decide to focus on. Now, of course, what's the opposite of what is crypto? Well, what is not crypto? Crypto is not a scam. Although, like every other industry, there are scams within it. But crypto itself isn't a scam. It is just a new technology which is transforming the internet as we know it. Also, it is not something that only criminals use to launder monies. In fact, crypto, once you understand it, you would understand that it would be the worst type of technology they could use as everything is recorded on chain. The dollar, I'm afraid, is far more discreet and anonymous for that activity. And the other popular rumor that's out there is that cryptocurrencies are supposed to replace world currencies like the Australian dollar or the US dollar or the euro. And there were a lot of people that in the early days thought that these technologies could be quite revolutionary. You know, we could kick out the banks and the establishment, etc., etc. Well, that's just a farce. That's not the case at all. The primary use of these technologies is to actually make the existing currencies far more efficient in the way they're used, in the way they're moved, and also in the earning capacity that they have. In the next episode, what I'm going to do is cover a little bit about how did I get started and what did I find out to be the truth, and further disproving a lot of misnomers about this technology and touch on some of the opportunities that I'm sure are going to benefit yourselves. If you found this information helpful and are interested in a more hand-holding approach while navigating this complex industry, please visit cryptobasicscoach.com, that's basics with an S, and book a session. The first 30-minute session is free, and we can get to know each other, talk about what your aims are, what you're looking to do, and how I might be able to possibly help. I've helped people get started, set up exchange accounts, wallets, DeFi platforms, and general knowledge. Look forward to speaking with you. Cheers.